Dear Beyonce, thank you so much for letting my video be on your internet. Love you, Queen. Couldn't be here without you. Sorry. I was just thanking Beyonce before we start the video because, as we all maybe know by now, that we are on Beyonce's internet. Hey, not a Beyonce stan by any means. Sorry, if you can hear the beanbag, shout out down in the comments below, and please hit the subscribe button now. For no reason other than I just asked. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I just clicked onto this video and she's already asked me to subscribe. Believe me. Oh my god, Tom Hanks voice? No. No more Tom Hanks voice, sorry. Okay. Hello. A bit of a weird, disruptive start to the video. And I'm now going to disrupt my video even more by drinking some of my tea. Oh yeah, I made tea because we're going through the tea today. Let me think. I have like a vague lining of like what I want to talk about today. I will be going through a few different things. It's going to be a very interesting podcast, very mumbled. Mumbled? I don't know. One thing I will say, I didn't really do a deep vibe into a topic. So today is very like, oh, we're going to do a whole bunch of different stuff for the pod today. Okay? Cool. I hope that's all right. We're going to be reading some news. First things first, we're going to catch up with me. It is the Catching Up with Kate podcast, and we did not do. Oh yeah, I was practicing my my Melania impression because I was looking at the. Hold on, let me change the lighting. Ooh, hold on, make it even brighter. I was looking at it like this before, and I was like, it's so bright. Like I just woke up. I woke up at 6, and it's now 8 a.m. And I was like, okay, at the time it was like 7, and I was like, you know. I kind of noticed I was oh god, now everything's all waxed. I was editing one of my videos because I like to do gaming edits, and I'm working on my next one. It's taking a while. Hello. And I noticed in one of the green screen edits I was doing of myself, I was doing like the Melania face for some reason. And it's like every time I wear eyelashes, I think I start doing the Melania face. I don't know why. Yeah, so that's something. I'm having a bit of a problem here. So I do all my own timestamps, but my issue is that the timer is up here for me on my phone, and I can't see it very well. I think I have to do like it's even harder to see it. There we go. Okay, I can see it when I do that. So guys, if at any point in the video I'm doing like this, I'm not like about to do the what is that, a dance? The whatever. Some dance. The marimba, I don't know. I'm not cultured. Yeah, as you can tell, guys, I already have my Halloween costume decided. I'm gonna be a ghost for Halloween. Can you see it? Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna catch up with me. I'm gonna talk a bit about my last video. I'm doing that a lot lately, where I'm having to recap, or it's like an email. You go, read my last video. Regarding the last video, guys, I'll be doing a very quick recap of that. And then we're going to be talking about the California earthquake. And I will also be granting everybody the... Words not coming out of my mouth today. Y'all are getting my P-diddy informal summary. Which probably means I will be watching some TikToks. That's going to be fun to edit. But it should be fun. I've been really enjoying the P-diddy stuff. Well, enjoying, it's more like it's fascinating, but I think sometimes people think the word fascinating means like a good thing, and it's like, not in this case. In this case, fascinating is like that's fascinating, as in, that's shocking, dude. That's absolutely shocking. So, yeah. Alright, so first things first, catching up with me. Hello. What has been up with me? Oh, I have to say something. Okay, let's start off the day with something heartwarming. Oh, before I do that, guys, my first gimmick for this podcast. I know it's almost 30 episodes in. I'm finally coming up with my thing. Oh, well, the best shut the fuck up. My thing, it's very exciting. We're going to be doing a word of the day. These birds are so annoying. Word of the day, everybody. Actually, I'm going to restart. I'm having trouble connecting to the server. Why? Huh? Hello, Merriam-Webster. Oh my god, guys. Merriam-Webster is down. No. Guys, can you please stop trying to get onto Merriam-Webster? I'm trying to find out what the word of the day is, and you guys are fucking killing the website. Okay? God. Alright, it hasn't updated. It's still on October 6th. It's October 7th for me, so it's a bit wrong. I'm eager to find out what the word of the day is for today, but I guess we'll go with October 6th. So, for all you Americans out there, or anyone on the other side of the world, ah, God, I've got like a hair on my eye. Can you see it? No, probably not. The word of the day is berate. Alright, 6 minutes in. Okay. 6 minutes. Word of the day. Fabulous. Berate. Oh my god, I think what the fuck? I think I'm inhaling fucking bug spray now. What the hell? There's like a bug spray thingy like right over there, all the way across the room. It is spraying in my direction, but it's so far away and I can smell it from here. Holy shit. Oh fuck, I'm actually gonna... Oh, that does not feel good. I'm gonna die. Whatever. I already have Chad microplastics in my body, probably. And apparently, my favorite floss for my teeth also has PFA's forever chemicals in it too. Awesome. Apparently floss isn't as regulated as it maybe should be. In fact, you're not even like, people who manufacture floss don't even have to be like, hey, this is what we put in it. It's not like regulated like at all. It's so dumb. Okay, so berate. What it means. To berate someone is to angrily scold or criticize them, often loudly and at length. So, see it in a example. Don't berate yourself over cancelling plans, his friend told him. Sometimes you just need to take care of yourself. Oh, okay. Did you know, people have berated things and each other for time immemorial, but the word berate has only been known to English users since the mid-1500s. Before that, if you wanted to angrily rebuke, say an outlaw for impersonating a fortune teller in order to steal the golden hubcaps off your royal carriage. What is this? You would rate them. Whoa, you'd rate them? Like in Dress to Impress, how you rate the outfits? You'd rate them? I'm gonna rate you. Oh my god, that sounds so bad. Oh my god, I can see why we're going with berate now. Oh wow. I'm gonna rate. That's not even. It's not good. Berate simply added the prefix be to the existing verb rate, which is distinct from the rate that means to value or esteem. While the more familiar rate comes ultimately from Latin, the origins of the less common scolding rate are obscure. Yeah, I never knew that. Wow, that is cool. Guys, we are learning today. And we're going to be learning so much more as well, so hold on to your hats, I guess. Or whatever they say. Whatever they say, I wouldn't know. I'm far above that. Okay, so we got the word of the day out of the way, and I'm gonna try and use it at some point in the video. So I'm gonna have to remind myself to do that, just for funsies. I don't know if I'll keep that, but I like that. When I was in high school, I remember I think year 11, year 10, or something. No, it was probably whatever. 10, 11, 12 doesn't fucking matter. The most important part of your high school life, arguably. I remember we had so many presentations as like seniors or whatever, and people would come in and try to like give all sorts of tips and advice for like exams, doing all that stuff. And one of the things that stuck with me that I actually did implement into my daily routine is that I subscribed to the I think it was the dictionary word of the day email or something newsletter, and it's a really good way to learn new words, and I definitely learned maybe like a couple words out of like a whole year or like 2 years. I think I did learn some words, but I think I mostly forgot a lot of it, actually. I believe that a lot of my more like oldie words that I know, like censure. Censure is one that has stuck with me. I don't know why. Oh, because I wrote it down. Sometimes when I learn words from books, I write them down and I write down like the meaning and stuff. And I tend to remember those ones better because, you know. Anyway, and I learned that from a Jane Austen book, I think. Yeah, I think I actually. Wait, what's that? What's that? Pride and Prejudice. I think I actually read Pride and Prejudice. I think I did. It's so weird because I have this memory of having the book and reading it, but at the same time, I have no recollection of reading it. But I feel like I know everything that happened in it. And sure, I watched like one of the movies and stuff, but I remember distinctly reading the word censure in the book, writing it down and putting it on a sticky note and putting it on my wall. But I don't remember anything else of me actually reading the book. Is that weird? And it was only a few years ago, too. I feel like something traumatic must have happened during that time because I just don't remember it. Eee. So, yeah, what are we up to now? 12 minutes? Oh, jeez. It was brilliant. It was a brilliant book. Well, I felt quite smart reading it, but I think I like reading old books because they do have so much language in them, so many words that we don't use today, and I love learning about those kind of words. So, yeah, yeah. All right, let's get into the drums for a quick minute. So, regarding my last video, guys, y'all may have seen it, maybe not. Maybe you're here because of it. Welcome, welcome. I was going to do like a thing where I was gonna go through the comments and respond and like try to have a discussion around it because my last video was a little bit I guess it's controversial. I mean, it was competitive gamer girls, where are they? And it was a video, if in case anyone didn't watch it, which I think a lot of people commented and didn't watch it, naughty. I was going through the reasons why, because a lot of people say, like, why don't we see competitive girls in competition when it comes to video games? And it was basically going through all the reasons of why that is. I do the Melania face when I drink tea. Okay. And let me just say, guys, I'm a little bit disappointed in you, I have to say. To the people who watched it and were like, made sense, had comments to make, had constructive feedback, if good on you. I'm okay with that. Y'all are safe. Y'all are safe. But to those of you who commented and did not watch the video, you are ignorant. And I mean that in like, I'm not trying to berate you. I'm just saying, like, it genuinely is really ignorant, and you're actually proving a lot of my points in the video just by virtue of being ignorant. Because I'm pulling it up right now. I'm pulling it up, guys. I'm not going to respond. I'm not even going to read most of the comments. I'm just looking at the latest comments in my dashboard. Guys, y'all idiots are referencing stats that are out of date. Y'all are so hooked up on this statistic of 45%, 47%. It's fucking 48%. It's so funny. But no, I'm for real though. For real for a moment. I think you guys need to actually watch the video through and pay attention, because it seems like you guys didn't do that. And I can tell from the comments that I'm reading right now. And I just don't understand how you go through life like this. You comment with like such confidence, and then you're actually not saying anything. So I just have to say, guys, can we please have some media literacy? I think that what's important here is that we have discussions about things. I'm not here to debate anyone. If you can do your own research and then come back and tell me what you found, and we can discuss each other's findings. Not in like a weird way. Why does that sound weird? Discuss our findings, our research. I'm all for that, guys. I'm for real. I'm for realsies. I said it in my other videos, I'll say it again. But no one's coming with any like actual facts or anything like this. Everyone's just coming with like, good, I'm gooning. Good. It's like your typical shit, but it just proves my point even more. So I don't know what you guys are trying to do here. It doesn't really make sense to me, if I'm being honest. But I mean, I tried to make the video as like least combative as possible. I started it off with being like I'm extending a hand out to y'all. You know, I'm being like, let's talk about this issue together. It's an us thing, you know. It's not anyone's big fault or anything like that. And y'all just completely ignore that part, I guess. So I don't know. It's a little bit silly, I think, but honestly, it's expected. Like, the subject I was talking about is apparently always going to be controversial for some reason. It's always going to be some kind of like, yeah, something that's very contentious. That's another word for you. Contentious. So I'm not trying to berate nobody. Done. Word of the day already. But I just want to say, guys, like, it wouldn't hurt to listen to point of views that challenge your own, because clearly my point of view in the video was challenging to you, but I also feel like it was quite, in my opinion, well researched, factual, and I even tried to research things that opposed my opinion of things, and I couldn't find anything. Anyway, I don't want to go too much into it because we're in the next video, so let's not dawdle too much. But I just think that's some food for thought. Ugh. I think it's food for thought, you know? I think it's okay to listen to something that's not quite what you listen to. Broaden your horizons, maybe a little bit, I don't know. But I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, so thanks for commenting anyway, because it does help my videos. So thank you. Alright, moving on. I was trying to look at the news on like other websites. I was checking out BBC. I'm not gonna lie, I used to read the BBC newsletter or website, whatever the fuck you want to call it, back when I was in high school. But I feel like the BBC sucks. I don't like it that much. It's nothing really that interesting to me anymore. It's like, okay, let's just say we're going to the BBC. Let's go to the home page. it's taking a while to load. I suppose I could close my channel dashboard. Oh, okay. Oh, shout out. Shout out to Molot. Peak content to listen when cleaning my house. I think the main problem is supply. That's all I can read from that, I guess. Supply, demand. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, but it seems to be getting better. I think that was the core point of my thing, but hey, shout out my lot. If you enjoy cleaning your house while listening to my stuff, I love that. I actually do love that for you. That's awesome. I think at first when I read that comment, I was kind of thinking like, is this like a joke about like, is this like a sexist joke somewhere in there or something? So that was my go-to thought, but then I reread it and I was like, okay. I was like trying to suss it out, but you know, whatever. Love that. Love you. So yeah, that's that. I don't mind shouting out my lot. And if it was if it was a slight, it was confusing. So might want to work on that. But I'm sure it was actually with all peace and love. Why am I not able to fucking connect to any? Okay, there we go. BBC. So let's see. We've got all the news is about Israel, Palestine, and now Lebanon has entered the fight. And actually, I do want to see Lebanon on Lebanon on a map. Sorry guys, I'm not really that well versed in the Middle East. Oh, okay. Okay, so towns Israel told residents to leave. Okay, let's have a look. This is a bit bigger one. So there's Beirut. Beirut. I think it's Beirut. Oh, Syria's over there. Okay, gotcha. Israel's there. Wow. Yeah, so there's a lot of news about the Israel stuff that's going on and the Palestine, and I mean I don't mean to say that as like a funny thing because it's not, but it's yeah, it just seems to be getting worse and worse. And I'll be honest, I don't really understand a lot of what's going on either. Analysis: year of killing and broken assumptions has taken Middle East to edge of deeper, wider war. Yeah, so it's referencing the October 7th stuff. Okay. I mean, we might be able to read this, but it's a really long article, and I would probably just recommend you guys do some reading into it and stuff, because I'm not prepared to talk about it this episode, but a lot has happened. A lot of extra... I think, from what I've gathered online, I think Israel bombed, like, a really significant mosque or something, or they and like Lebanon is like trying to defend itself now, and people saying, well, they have the right to defend themselves. That spray thing just sprayed, and if I smell it in like 2 seconds, I hope not, because there's a cat water bowl right there. Okay, hopefully it doesn't come my way, but that's not good. I don't like those spray thingies. Anyway, oh fuck, where are we? 23 minutes. Oh, 19. Israel. I'll just put it in and just say, yo guys, check it out. There's a lot to read. President Biden's grand bargain proposed that Israel would receive full diplomatic recognition by Saudi Arabia. Most yeah, I can smell it. Okay, hold on. That's so yucky. Oh, I had to turn it off. No, that's like really bad, because that means it's been blowing into the water fountain this whole time. And I thought, well, I'm not the one who set it up, but I thought it would have been fine. But oh, good thing I sat here today, because we never would have known that. Okay, so the Saudis would be rewarded with a security pact with the US. Biden plan fell at the first hurdle. Netanyahu said, "What a name, Netanyahu." Yahoo. It's a name. Okay, Netanyahu said in February that statehood would be a huge reward for Hamas. Bezalel Smotrich, sorry, one of the ultra-nationalist extremists in his cabinet, said it would be an extra existential threat to Israel. I don't get that. I don't understand that, sorry. Yeah, see, this is why I shouldn't be talking about this, because I don't actually understand what the fuck is going on here. I'm not gonna lie. So, I'm grown enough to say I don't understand. And if I'm going to talk about the next episode, I'm going to have to do more research and like actually read this stuff. Because seriously, this is a whole ass essay, and I don't have time to really read through the whole thing and dissect it and digest it. Yummy, yummy. Let's just put in 24 minutes. Got up. Got up. I was thinking at one point when I was doing the timestamps to my last video, I think it was the last video, I was like, or one of the videos, is it too many timestamps? When is it too many? And then I was looking at, I think Moist Critical's podcast, and they had a video with like tons of timestamps, and I was like, you know what? I do appreciate the extra timestamps, or like very specific. And nowadays, it's like I'm so timestamp pilled that it's like anytime I watch like tutorials and they don't have timestamps, I'm like, get me out of here. So there's a content creation tip for you guys. Timestamps are king, in my opinion. Can't live without them. Okay, so we have coming up now. There was an earthquake in California. Can you believe it? I can't. I choose not to believe it. Really makes you think. I wonder what happened to that guy who was talking about Scientology. Oh, I think all his shit got shut down. So sad. Okay, so guys, coming to you live from Australia. Very important news. There was a 4.0 earthquake that rattled SoCal and was the strongest in a series of modest Ontario temblors. I don't know what any of that means. Ontario temblors? Is that... Are they speaking Canadian? Okay, so let's get it started. A magnitude 4 earthquake rattled Southern California. That's what they call SoCal. I understand that. Before dawn Sunday morning, the strongest in a series of modest earthquakes to strike near the Ontario International Airport. Oh. Okay. It happened at around 3:51 a.m. and it was the 5th of magnitude 3 or higher detected in Ontario since early September. I'm guessing that's like a significant amount. That's why they're saying it. Alright. Moderate shaking was felt in areas closest to the epicenter, the USGS said, as defined by the modified Mercalli intensity scale. That's strong enough to awaken many people. Weak or light shaking may have been felt across the broad region, including most populous portions of San Bernardino and Riverside counties, large swaths of Los Angeles and Orange counties, and parts of San Diego County. Alright. Till Sunday, the strongest earthquake in the past month to hit San Bernardino County's fourth most populous city, occurred on September 7th, magnitude of 3.9, caused light shaking to be felt close by the epicenter. Light shaking is enough to disturb windows and dishes and can rock standing cars noticeably. Huh, okay. That's light. Damn. We get like some earthquakes around here in Australia, but I really haven't felt any. I hear like a lot of the time, okay, it's like uncommon, but when it does happen, I don't think I ever really feel it. I don't know. I remember feeling one once, I think in 2020 or 2021. I think. It was actually really crazy. I think the first time I ever experienced an earthquake was in Japan. Yeah. It was we were staying at this hostel, which was an old factory that had been turned into like a hostel, and it was like a really old, decrepit building, and but it was very cheap, and it was in Tokyo, so you love that. Meow, meow. That was my first time experiencing an earthquake. I think it was 2016. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was a little bit like whoa, but I hear it's normal over there, so I wasn't really scared. Okay, is it? Okay, I thought this was gonna be like more interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Like I actually did pre-pick some of this stuff and go, "Ooh, that sounds interesting." But hey, if you live in California or South California to be direct, you may have experienced an earthquake, which you probably already knew. So you're welcome. Hey, I'm bringing you guys the facts and the most crazy shit that's happening in the world. And yeah, then I was on France 24. Someone suggested to me France 24 is like a news site because I was complaining to them. I was like, dude, I can't ever find like good news that isn't just like, I don't know, because all news is kind of what's the word? Corrupt? I don't know if corrupt's the right word. It's like conflict of interest in a way. And so it's really hard to like find sources that are feel like they're reputable or that they're giving like a neutral stance on things. Is it just me with the camera fucking up majorly? God damn it. Anyway, yeah, so I was looking at France 24 and I was like, okay, why don't we look at Africa? African news. It appears Africa is having a unusual presidential election in Tunisia. And oh, good news, I think the Congo has begun MPOX vaccinations to curb an outbreak. Now, I don't know how long ago it was, but I think maybe like a couple months ago or something, I mentioned it either on the podcast or on my stream, kick.com/KDDraws. And I did mention it. I broke the news on my stream, I think, that it appears that there's like a lot happening with MPOX, which otherwisely known as monkeypox, but we don't really call it that anymore because of the racist connotations that it appears to have garnered. I don't even know. Maybe it all spawned from racism. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it's called MPOX now, okay, guys? And I think there's like two different variants, and one's more infectious and more deadly, and one's like less infectious. And there is some spur of thoughts that it's sexually transmitted or something, but not entirely. It also is kind of a fluid, airborne type thing. I think I'm not really sure. I don't remember, but yeah, I remember saying like, oh god, if it's like this bad, where they think it could reach pandemic levels. I know, plandemic. Am I right? But if it could reach that level, I was saying, guys, I was like, why are we not giving them vaccinations? And the point is, or the problem with mpox is that we don't have prepared like vaccinations for it because we just weren't really expecting it. And I think in order to get more vaccinations, it's going to require probably a lot of work. So hopefully we can get that underway. Let's read that actually. France 24. The first vaccines against mpox were given to hospital staff. Oh, hold on. Where are we up to? I'll put it down. 34. MPOX. Dun dun dun. The first vaccines against MPOX were given to hospital staff on Saturday, and more will be made available to members of the public who are most at risk on Monday. The health minister said as Democratic Republican attempts to curb a deadly MPOX epidemic. The country is still waiting for millions of vaccine doses to arrive from France, Japan, and the US. Okay, so we are sending, well, I say we, but I'm glad that something's being done about it. That's good. That's a good update to it. Let's see. The the DR of Congo is the epicenter of an MPOX epidemic, and they launched a vaccination campaign against the virus on Saturday in the eastern city of Goma. Okay. The launch, initially scheduled for last Wednesday, was delayed by 3 days amid logistical difficulties delivering the vaccines across the sprawling, infrastructure poor central African country. Oh. Oh yeah, I guess I never really took that into account because it actually does matter, right? The place that you're trying to disperse, I don't know, supplies and stuff. It really does. Oh god, I'm messing with my light. It matters the infrastructure and like how things are coordinated. Oh lord. And I never really took that into consideration, if I'm being honest. I guess we take a lot for granted in our Western society because we probably have a lot of that infrastructure already done. As much as we might complain about, public transport and infrastructure of the highways and shit, I think we take for granted the fact that it's at least pretty well developed. So, it's an interesting part of it that I never thought about. As a doctor, quotes, as a doctor on the front line and in constant contact with those who are sick, I want to protect myself. That makes sense. It makes sense to vaccinate the doctors first. It really does. Local health officials and NGO workers had set up large tents to administer the vaccines, unfurling banners with the message MPOX exists. That is true. So far, the DRC has received 265,000 vaccine doses, including donations from the US and European Union, but it's waiting for millions more promised from France, Japan, and the US. Okay, well, oh god, I really need to pee, guys. I really need to pee. I'm gonna note this down and make sure I edit it out. But good news with the MPOX stuff. That's really good. I really hope that goes well because I don't know. Can I handle another? I mean, it shouldn't even be a question about like, can I handle another lockdown? It's like sometimes it really is so bizarre to think like I lived through a pandemic. I lived through a pandemic. Can we all just say that for a moment? If we're alive, any ghosts watching the pod, maybe skip this part, but I survived a pandemic. And that's crazy. And now we're all out here trying to survive the I guess the outcome of it all and how it's affected like the whole world economically. I think environmentally it was probably good for the world, sadly. God, don't even get me started on the environment right now. Oh my god. Don't even get me started. Nice plant. Okay, I'm gonna go pee real quick. Hold on. Sorry, it had to happen. I needed to pee. Real bad. Really, really bad. 40 minutes. Okay, 38p. 30 to 48. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's that about the MPOX. Didn't plan on covering that, but I'm kind of glad I did because I was kind of worried about that a few months ago. But hopefully that does a good job. I'm surprised that like not more people. See, this is why I listen to France 24, guys. No one else is talking about this. Seriously, no one's talking about MPOX. I'm the one out here talking about it, and I'm the only one. God damn it. Alright, so we are going to get into it. The craziest thing in the world. My P-diddy informal summary. So, thank you, Beyonce. I have been loving the memes that have been coming out with this. It's been great. I'm also going to talk about this in a way where I kind of expect you have some level of knowledge about the P-diddy stuff, so if you don't, then girl, you are missing out. Go and watch a video about it because it is insane. I would recommend for people who are new to the situation, Moist Critical had a really good podcast thing about it, or he had like just a, I think it was from the podcast that he has, but yeah. Anyway, Moist Critical had a really good video about it, and it's very informed, it's concise, and it's informative, like I just said. So we love that. Now, I think some of the core things, especially about the beginning of this P. Diddy stuff, is that there's P. Diddy, and then he was with this girl, Cassie. Some people call her Casey. I don't know why I did that sound. Some people call her Casey. Her name's Cassie, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think Cassie got with P. Diddy. They were together for a while. Dramatic pause. But do you guys remember, perchance, a video that leaked, I think like last year, where P. Diddy was chasing a woman in his bathrobe and he like brutally assaulted her at a hotel lobby? I think it was like the suite floor, so it was like no one else was like there, obviously. But yeah, a video that leaked, and it was leaked by Cassie, the woman in that video who's being assaulted. Do you guys remember that video? Because I remember watching it and then totally forgetting about it. No, I remember because I saved the video, or it was like a TikTok, and I saved it and I sent it to Caleb, and I was like, Caleb, I don't know who P. Diddy is, but he done some bad shit. And I remember we had like a very brief discussion about it, but if I'm being honest, I don't know how many of y'all feel the same way, but I'm telling you, I never really knew about P. Diddy. I only ever heard references about him, like he's like the Great Gatsby or some shit, but dude, I never I can't even name a P. Diddy song. I really can't. Let's look it up. P. Diddy songs. And I don't know the guy. Never cared for him. The 13 best P. Diddy songs to ever be released. Okay. By Mike McLaughlin. May 5th, 2023. Oh, you're getting cancelled, Mike. I'm just joking. Bad Boy for Life, featuring Black Rob and Mark Curry. That's number 13. Okay, what's number 1? Show me number 1, baby. Mo Money, Mo Problems with Notorious B.I.G. and Mace. More money, more problems? I mean, I've heard that phrase before. Didn't know about the song. Okay. Well, that's number 1 for P. Diddy. Let's see, number 2. I'll Be Missing You, featuring Faith Evans and 112 or 112 or something. Okay. Young G's, featuring the Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z. Never heard of it. Hello, Good Morning, featuring T.I. Yo, T.I., the guys from League of Legends? That's crazy, dude. Dirty Money and Rick Ross. Rick Ross? Wait, I think Rick Ross also has allegations. Oh my god, wait. Let me look this up. Rick Ross allegations. That's gonna be crazy. Crazy. Rick Ross sued by a woman who claims she was drugged and right. Let's just say when we're talking about rated, it sounds like rated. Yep. TheRap.com, okay. Here's another. Oh, this was in 2015. You know what they say? Birds of a feather. The rapper who was arrested on kidnapping and aggravated assault charges in June is being sued by a woman who claims she was drugged and rated during Grammy Awards weekend. That is not how you want to celebrate your Grammy. My god, dude. Well, there we go, guys. Yay. Last Night featuring Keisha Cole. And then we have I Need a Girl, part 1. That's crazy. To make a whole video being like, I need a girl, part 1. No, I Need a Girl, part 2. Spoiler. There's gonna be a part 3. Featuring Usher and Loon. Okay. Been Around the World? Victory? It's all about the Benjamins? See, okay, I know it's all about the Benjamins. However, oh, remix? Puff Daddy, It's All About the Benjamins remix. Okay, maybe there's like an original. I know it because of Weird Al. Weird Al made It's All About the Pentiums, baby. It's all about the Pentiums, baby. I don't remember how it goes, but oh my god, so dumb. Can't Hold Me Down. Come With Me. Satisfy You featuring R. Kelly. Oh, he just knows all the good people, you know? R. Kelly, Rick Ross, Usher. I mean, okay. So anyway, yeah, I don't know like any P Diddy songs. Do you guys know any P Diddy songs? I don't fucking know. I don't really fucking care. Like I said though on the stream, I probably don't look like the type of person who would care about that stuff or be into it, you know? But then again, that's probably like, well, I suppose you could base that assumption off of me. I don't know. I also like to remind people, I like to say also, when I was growing up, I didn't really watch TV. I didn't have access to like anything, I guess. Like social? Like I had one of those old CD players that like pops up the top and you put a CD in and pop down and it's like a disc player or something. I don't remember what they're called, but I had one of those, or at least my brother had one. And we had the Blues Brothers and Avril Lavigne. And that's it. Oh, and then I listened to Blue Bear in the Big Blue House Goes to the Dentist or something. Do you guys remember Blue Bear in the Big Blue House? Yeah, it was like a CD about him going to the dentist, or like one of his house friends was going to the dentist, one of his roommates. And I listened to that a lot, and it helped me feel better about going to the dentist. Yeah. It's actually not a bad idea. Getting like prepared as a kid to do things that are like scary. Scary. Anyway, so that video about P. Diddy beating up Cassie was leaked by her. Essentially what happened is I think he pursued her a lot until eventually she said, yes, I'll go out with you. And so I think what we see a lot with P. Diddy is that he had a lot of like ties to like the industry, a very powerful person in it and stuff. And it was like crazy. I really wonder where he got all that power. Like, how did that even come about? I don't even know. Really helpful summary here. Sorry, guys. And Cassie ended up settling in a court case. I think she was going to sue him and stuff, but he settled out of court. And then the lawyers were all like, just because we settled outside of court doesn't mean that we're admitting guilt. Which is kind of like, I love that you have to say that, because you genuinely have to say that, because if you don't, it's just like, either way, it's pretty bad. It's like a lose-lose situation in my opinion. Because in my opinion, it's pretty much, you did that shit. You did that shit. I'm trying to think like who else did a settling out of court recently who was like, yeah, you did that shit. I remember who it was. I'm sure, you know what, I'm sure R. Kelly probably did something like that too at some point. I don't know. Very interesting. And yeah, so she settled out of court, and then a year later, or a few years later, she leaked that video of her in the trying to escape P. Diddy, really. And him, what the video depicted was her sort of like scurrying, like going really fast down a hallway, and then the camera changes to the elevator angle where she's like in a hurry, she's waiting for the elevator, she's got her bags, she's like, she looks like a mess, she's clearly in a hurry. And then the camera pans back to that hallway, and it's P-Diddy hurrying down the hallway with the towel just around his waist, and then the camera changes back to the elevator angle, and he goes right up to her, and I think he like pulls her hair and she grabs her and she falls over, and he's like grabbing her by the hair, dragging her back to the room, which is a fucking horrific, really horrific thing to think about, because then you think about like, well, what happened after that? You know, it's like I can't even imagine what horrors she would have gone through with that fucking foul human. And then if you watch the Vogue 73 questions with P. Diddy, it's very interesting. I watched it on stream and it was like, I know like we're all going like 2020, how do we never see it? It was dangling it right in front of us the whole time and stuff, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Like I get that. But if you look at the video, and I genuinely think so few people cared about P. Diddy, and that's why it actually like kind of went over everyone's head. And it's also one of those things where a lot of the time there's like plausible deniability with things. Like you'd hear people on talk shows, and we're seeing like a lot of comedy shows where people go on there and they ask about P. Diddy, and then they make jokes and they're like, oh, can't really talk about that. And it comes off as like a joke, and you're like, okay, they can't talk about it. It's probably just like drugs or whatever, you know? They're probably just fucking doing ecstasy or some shit or doing acid, and they don't want to talk about it because if you talk about that kind of stuff, then it kind of turns into a whole thing where you got to be like, don't do drugs, kids. We did it. Don't do drugs and stuff. And you know, it's like a whole thing. That's always how I interpret those things. And I know if I was watching that for the first time, I wouldn't think anything of it. I'd be like, okay, maybe they just do they do a little something something, but you never think like, oh, they're doing like sex trafficking, they're like pedophiles, they're also doing drugs, they're also drugging people, GHB and all that shit. Oh my god. Like, dude, no one's gonna think that. No one's gonna think that. And it's kind of like no one also I genuinely don't think anyone gave a shit about P. Diddy. So I think those are some things that really factored into how everything went out. And I'm so sorry, I have to keep drinking water because the last time I did the pod, my throat was just. It really affected my stream. So I'm trying to keep it moist. What's the time? What's the time? Ugh. 9 a.m. Okay, it's not bad. Not bad at all. We're making good time. So, anyway. So now that all this stuff has happened, we're hearing a lot of stuff about his friends, his besties. My personal favorite, Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher. That's my personal favorite because I can now say, never liked the guy. Never liked him. Everyone thirsted over him. Everyone was always like, oh my god, he's against sex trafficking children and women. Oh, he's so sex. He's so sex. It's like, come on, guys. Come on. Don't we know by now that, like, people, especially, like, celebrities who make their whole MO about, like, I'm against this thing and we should stand up for this. And then, like, anyone who's, like, who makes their whole thing about being, like, the good person, they're always, like, always terrible people, you know? Like, Keanu Reeves doesn't make a point to be like, I'm the good guy. I'm always the good guy. Good guys don't buy women. You know, that kind of shit. Keanu Reeves just does stuff. He just does stuff. And he just lives his life. God, hopefully nothing comes out about him after this. Could never. I'm so confident that Keanu Reeves is one of the good ones. There we go. Anyway, that's what they say about everyone though, right? And then we have like Usher, and now I've got to say that the Justin Bieber stuff is actually like really, it's like really bummed me out, you know? I think for me when I was growing up, I think Justin Bieber might be like a year older than me or something. Actually, how old is he? Is he a year older? He just had a baby. Justin. And I even feel bad bringing up Justin Bieber because I feel like if everything that's happened is true, then it's like I just feel bad bringing it up because it seems like he had a really bad time with P-diddy. God, I don't know what's wrong with my computer today. It's like it's not able to reach any site properly. So I do feel bad about bringing it up, but honestly, I think, well, I mean, I don't know what to say about it. It's like, yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad because I don't think I was ever really like outwardly insulting to him, but I do know that the internet culture at one point was very hatey towards him. Very hatey, very hateful. And I guess it still is, but server not found. What do you mean server not found? Justin Bieber. Gotta keep an eye out for Selena. Bro, what is going on? Justin Bieber. I keep spelling his name wrong. I was never a Justin stan. Wait, could it be that my thing's down? Wait, let's go to Google. Brother. Eh? What? Oh, let me connect to the different Wi-Fi or something. God damn it. Yeah, so apparently Justin signed with Diddy, I think at like a very early age. He was probably like 13 or something. I think he started YouTube when he was like 12. And he's signed when he's 13. And everyone's been able to piece together a lot of stuff that is really quite sad. He's 30. Oh my god, he's 30. He's like way older than me. Holy shit. Haha, old ass. Haley's 27. Oh wow, okay. She's a year older than me. Okay, what was I saying? Yeah, I just feel bad for Justin. I guess that's all I was saying about that, to be honest. I feel bad for him. And, you know, all the people have been saying, like, oh, you know, this is gonna drive him over the edge because it's like a lot of trauma being like re-upped. And, you know, everyone also dogged on his song Yummy because it was so bizarre. It really was a really bizarre thing. And I think for like a lot of the promo for that song was him posting like baby pictures of himself or just posting baby pictures in general. And a lot of people, I think, thought that Yummy was to do with Haley at first. They were like, oh, why is he talking about like eating out women or something? I think that's genuinely what some people thought. Maybe even I thought that or something. And that's where I'm getting that from. But when we think about the P-diddy stuff and everything that P-diddy did and the fact that he spent 48 hours alone with Justin Bieber when he was like 13, we begin to see things very differently. And Justin in particular, it's like yeah, I feel like I grew up with him, not with him, obviously parasocial moment, lol. I grew up with him like always being kind of like the same age as me, I guess. He was born in 94, so he's like 4 years older than me. So, yeah, it's kind of like the same age difference between me and my brother and stuff. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's and you just think to yourself like if he was going through that the whole time when we were talking about, oh, you look like Ellen DeGeneres, oh, you got the lesbian haircut, oh. It's like there's no wonder that he ended up doing all the crazy shit that he ended up doing, you know? No wonder. And if anything, it just makes me feel like, yeah, you just never really know what a person's going through. You never know. You never know. It's sad. It's really sad. And I hope that since he just had his little baby boy, that can be like a, hopefully not too much of a hard experience. I understand having newborns is hard. Having a newborn and then having your, what I'm assuming, in my opinion, having your assaulter or your the person who victimized you and stuff come out with all this stuff. a lot of your trauma is going to resurface. And apparently, he had a lot of trauma responses when he was making Yummy. And I guess I could like summarize the Yummy analysis where the Yummy music video is very symbolic about like the P-diddy parties and the fuck? Snapchat just sent me something weird. Finally getting all my things. What the fuck does that mean? Whatever. And so in the Yummy video, he's like, there's all this weird food, and then at the end of the video, there's a plate that's been licked clean and it has his face on it and says Yummy. And then there was like everyone was like old, and like then there was one part where everyone was wearing white, like all the guests at the banquet wearing white, and there's someone in a red suit who plays the violin, and P Diddy was known to attend these white parties in like all red. Very weird. So yeah, then there's that stuff, and I mean, I guess I don't even know if I can get into the white parties really, but we all know what the white parties were. It was crazy. But we're also coming out with some stuff where someone who was 6 years old was at one of the white parties. Like, literally, parents are going and taking their children, their babies, to these white parties. And then someone else was saying that they used to check people at the door to see, like, how well groomed they were. And only people who were bare down there could attend. And it's like, how are parents going, like, yeah, this seems like a good place to take my kids? I love that. Girl, what are you talking about? So there's like some ramblings about that. And I mean, I'm gonna say I'm getting like pretty much all of my info from Becca Day from TikTok. She's really great. She does really great research. She's informative. She's really nice to listen to as well. She has like a really lovely voice. But she talks a lot about Thorn, the anti-sex trafficking thing that Ashton Kutcher would do. But Ashton Kutcher had to leave Thorn after he wrote for defense of Danny Masterson, the Scientology guy who also assaulted people apparently. So, yeah, not great. Not great at all. But we're really taking like an eye to all of this stuff and being like, who the fuck is friends with this P. Diddy guy? And then P. Diddy was also like, my favorite white party guest, Leonardo DiCaprio. Holy shit. And so apparently he's got tapes as well. Like he had like a whole system of like secretly taping people, and I think the youngest person who has been confirmed as like a victim was 9 years old at the time. Yeah. I think they also said that they had a tape of someone who was looked to be underage and was allegedly more popular than P. Diddy. And so people are saying like, oh, that must be Justin's tape or something. I don't know. I don't like the speculation of all that. I don't like being like that, I guess. And I think I feel bad. And I feel bad even saying anything because I'm sure being involved in such like a public case and being like a victim, it's there's so much in that's traumatizing, that's terrible, and so I do feel bad even just bringing it up, but it is what it is. These things happened, and I think one other thing that I'm really feeling interested by, sorry, yapping moment, is what this means for Hollywood in general. So let me see, hour 6. My keyboard's not working. Hello. 1 hour or 6. So, Hollywood, or Hollyweird as everyone keeps saying, the future of like fame, celebritydom, and all that stuff, and Hollywood in general, this is like the most, Okay, this is what I want to say. I know a lot of people are going to say nothing's going to happen. The judge on Diddy's case just got changed and now it's someone else. Now they're sealing up all the information, yada, yada, yada. I want to say that I think that this is going to be a groundbreaking thing that's happening to Hollywood. And I think Hollywood is never, like, Hollywood's already having such a difficult time with movies and, like, cinemas and, considering, like, all the subscription services and shit. Hollywood is making terrible, terrible movie after terrible movie. Well, maybe some specific companies, I guess. But on top of all that, like I said in, like, one of my other videos, fame is being commodified so much that people who are in Hollywood, I believe, look down on people who, like, remember when James Charles went to, like, the fucking Met Gala and people were like, why the fuck is James Charles here? Like, I don't like James Charles. I fucking hate James Charles, but dude, James Charles belongs there, if you get what I'm saying. Yo, James Charles at the fucking white parties? I'm joking. I have no factual information on that. I'm joking. Okay? Okay? Anyway, what was I saying? Dude, they definitely look down on, like, content creators and, like, people who get famous from the YouTubes. Or maybe Emma Chamberlain. I mean, she's the one I'm thinking of, but I feel like they don't look down on her, so it probably depends on who you're talking to, but I feel like now is a time where people more than ever want, authenticity. I'm speaking from, like, me as a viewer as well, because I love watching podcasts. I love watching, like, personalities and stuff, and I love authenticity. I love when people are just themselves. Like, I fucking despise these really packaged things. I think that's one of the reasons why the Kardashians were so, like, we were so enamored by them in the beginning, because they felt I know they were, like, manufactured and shit, but they didn't have the control that they have today with their show, right? I'm sure they did, but producers would be like, this is the storyline we're going with. Chloe, you're gonna remodel a homeless person. Yes, that's what they did. They took a homeless person off the street and made him look like a better person. I don't know. That's what they said. They were like, you're a new man now. Turns out he was an actor, apparently. Anyway, but it's like this mass exodus. Is that the right word? I want to look it up. Exodus. Exile? Exodus? I feel like exodus is the right word. Exodus. Exodus mean the mass departure of people. Yes, I feel like there's this mass exodus of celebrities because of this P-diddy stuff. I mean, just look at how many people who have been seen with him. Jennifer Lopez is one of them. So many people, right? And I think Will Smith is also, like, a big name with it all too. And it's really going to affect them. I genuinely believe that. I think that when R. Kelly happened and stuff, it felt like a very isolated incident. Also, guess what? The person who funded that R. Kelly documentary, Escaping R. Kelly, or whatever the fuck it was called on Netflix, funded by Jay-Z, apparently. That's tea, because Jay-Z is also besties with P-diddy. Oh my god, my cat. Are you okay? What's wrong? My cat was just sleeping on the couch over there and she just jumped up. Are you okay? Girl, are you psycho, girl? Sorry. And so I genuinely believe that there is going to be a massive change with everything happening. There's going to be a massive, massive change. Because a lot of the people, it's like, maybe you had an inkling about some things, maybe you thought you had certain ideas and opinions, but now it's kind of, like, all but confirmed that, like, the majority of these people are fucking weird. And at this point, it's like everybody. It's like everybody. Or at least all of the people that our parents probably grew up with. The people our parents grew up with and we probably grew up with a little bit too, those people are all fucked. Probably. I don't know. And so a lot of people will say that nothing's going to come of it. It's going to be just like the Epstein stuff. And I don't know, people might be right about that, but I'm choosing to believe that this is going to have like generational effects. Like we are going to, the news might stop covering it, or something might happen, or it might die down in excitement as like time goes on. But I believe that there is no, we're living in a post-Diddy world. We're living in a post-Diddy world. That's what I believe. And I do think this is a huge thing that's happened. I know I keep saying that, but sorry, my cat really disturbed my flow. Socks, you disturbed my flow, and now you're getting back up there. I can't believe you. I love you, but you're psycho. Schizo. Okay, so yeah, and I think that now more than ever, we're experiencing something that I feel like has never been experienced before. When have we experienced this with Hollywood, where there's been this massive outbreak and exposure of the elite? The elite who are just caught on tape, you know? Caught in 4K. Well, probably caught in, yeah, 4K, I don't know. That's what I think. And I don't know, like, do you think that? Do you think that this is gonna be so, like, because we as people do have the choice to remember this stuff. Like, I know I'm, dude, who's someone that was like, I know that I can't ever listen to Elder Scrolls music without thinking about Jeremy Soule and Jeremy Soule's allegations. Don't love that. I feel like I definitely can't listen to R. Kelly. Space Jam? I forever think about R. Kelly. You know that iconic song in Space Jam was written by him, I think. You know, whenever you see something that was produced by Harvey Weinstein, can't really look at that without thinking about it. And I think that unless I don't know, unless some of you guys have like fish brains, we're always going to be thinking about this stuff. Like I'm not going to be able to watch Will Smith without thinking about it. Will Smith was already kind of on the outs for people. It's like over the past few years, have you guys noticed that it's just one weird thing after another with Hollywood? Like everything's cracking. Everything's sinking. And maybe now is a good a time, the goodest time to maybe get into making videos, sharing your stuff with the world, because maybe a lot of people are going to start being like, well, my favorites are all out of the loop, so time to find someone else to watch. Just a little throwing that out there for people, because I know me. I love watching YouTube. I love watching podcasts completely over watching like movies and TV these days. I think Netflix actually produces TV to be considerate that people are going to be on their phones most of the time. And I am a staunch believer in this, that phones are not the problem. Phones are not the problem, guys. Like, I'm telling you, I can watch any old movie, any old TV show, not be on my phone. I'm sat, I'm listening. I've seen it a million times before and I'll see it a million times again with my full ass attention. Like, I watched Kill Bill. I rewatched all the movies not that long ago. It was like 2 movies. What am I saying? Am I forgetting something? I don't know. And it's like the writing is like nothing that you see today. The direction. And yeah, I know Quentin Tarantino has his own skeletons in the closet. At this point they all do, but yeah, it's like film and stuff isn't made the way it is today, or was made. And yeah, it genuinely feels like Hollywood's like Kraken? Oh god. I don't mean krakens. Oh my god, what am I saying? So let me throw it back to you. That's a throw. That's not a throw. I don't want to do a throw. You don't want to see me throw. I don't throw good. Whew. Do you think Hollywood's kind of getting fucked? I like to think it is because I don't know. I think those people are like way too high up on their little horse, thinking that they're like so far above everybody. Oh wait, before I go, I actually do want to talk about the Beyonce stuff. Okay. What is this? 1 hour? So, oh, thank God my forehead is a little bit different. Beyonce. Okay, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Oh my god. So, there's been a lot of really funny memes about Beyonce and Jay-Z, and people are pulling up all these clips of like other people getting like awards, and then immediately being like, I have to thank you, Beyonce, and then Beyonce being like, thank you. And then people were saying that, so I guess Kanye is also in on this idea. When Kanye interrupted Taylor for her award, maybe Kanye knew something. Okay, this is conspiracy territory, but maybe he knew something about the fact that you need to thank Beyonce when you get awarded, and Taylor wasn't doing it. So then people are spinning it like maybe he was saving her, and the whole time when people hated on him, he was being helpful. So that's crazy. Like I say it's crazy. I enjoy the memes and the conspiracies because it's so insane, but it's fun. It's fascinating. It's fun. And I'd like to thank Beyonce, even though this video has kind of got her involved. Yo, I'm scared. I'm scared. Should I mention? Maybe I shouldn't even mention her. I'm gonna be put on like a list or something. Beyonce, I love you. I love the memes around you. Actually, I will say this. I never really liked Beyonce. I never really liked her, and sorry to all the stans, but I just didn't really like her. I didn't really vibe that much. I think she did have some hits and some bops and stuff, but I always thought that like the critical acclaim around her was what was off-putting for me. It always kind of is though. Like people and like the fans and the stans that they have really always turn you off like the person. It's kind of the same with like Taylor Swift maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that a lot of the time fans really like ew, you know? It's like, ooh, I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to be associated with this. And I feel like that's kind of like how it was with Beyonce. It felt very culty. Specifically Beyonce though. It really did feel culty, and if you're on the outside and you can agree with that, like please. But yeah, anyway. I guess that kind of wraps up the pod today. A little bit. It was a very informal summary, so I hope I got some major points down, but I would recommend Most Critical's video. I would recommend watching the Vogue question with P-diddy video, because just watch it by yourself or watch it with your friends or something, because and then look at his eyes. There's a specific part where he like looks into the camera. Dude, I'm telling you, look into his eyes. It's like, I don't know if I can do it, but it's crazy. See, whoop, 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 whoop. That's a great way to finish the podcast. All right. Goodbye. I hope that you have a good rest of your day. I hope you have a good week. I'll catch up with you next week. And if you have any opinions about what I've talked about, feel free to comment below. Press the subscribe button now. Come on. All right. Goodbye.